we are going to put this live stream this and put it up. So we got to use it.
Try to get. Hi, everybody. Welcome. So as I just mentioned, this is a great opportunity for the residents of Delran, and the approach that they've taken has been one that we hoped would be the way they handled this, and the opportunity for not only folks that have their own home, but folks that also have a variety of opportunities for rentals as well, and affordable housing. So it's a great chance for the community to come together and share in the benefits of solar energy. So without any further ado, we'll welcome Deb and all of our members of the Green Team, Deb Hammond from the Green Team, who were very instrumental in getting this together. And again, she stole my thunder, but former mayor of Pennsauken, Betsy McBride. Betsy, thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Betsy McBride. I consult with Solar Landscape municipal engagement, and I can honestly say that in all of the towns that we've worked with, we haven't been happier than working with mayor and council and Green Team in Delran. We have a relatively small project here in Delran. This community solar program is statewide, but you should expect it to grow, and there will grow in other towns. It'll grow in Morristown, it'll grow in Mount Laurel, it'll grow in Delran as well. But does anybody have a general idea of what community solar is? Good, that's why we're here, because the job of re-educating residents about this program it rests solely with the developers. It's not that the municipality is just buying into one developer's plan. It's that we are working to do community solar to benefit the residents of Delran, and the municipality is doing their part to help us educate you. So we have a presentation, and Dan is my colleague from Solar Landscape, and Dan, we don't have our clicker working, so he's going to be my clicker. So Solar Landscape is the leading New Jersey community solar developer, and we have more projects in the majority of low and moderate income families participating in community solar in the whole nation are with Solar Landscape. So we're also the top developer of energy developer in the state. So we want clean energy equity, workforce development, and access for everybody. Go ahead. So does anybody shop at Amazon or any big, online shopping? So what we have here is a project in Perth Amboy where the solar panels are on top of a warehouse. And those projects, those two buildings, are powering 1,100 homes. Do you see any homes there? No, so no panels are going on anybody's homes through this project. So we're putting the panels on the top of rooftops of commercial properties that don't require much power to operate, because that's a warehouse. So they don't need, they're not manufacturing in the building, so they don't need a lot of power. So the power becomes available to be sent to the grid for PSE&G to distribute out to residents. Okay, go ahead. So this is how it works. The array, the farm, gets built near you, and this one is in Delran, and homeowners subscribe to a portion of it that matches your usage. And then when you join, your solar share sends its energy through the grid to your house. You receive the electricity as normal, no change to your everyday lights or your life, except for the savings you get and that you're going green in Delran, specifically local. There's energy generation, that's that same project. It's addressing climate change. It's equity, meaning it's equal, everybody has the same access, and it will allow the residents who subscribe in Delran to have 25% cost savings on their portion of solar credits to their bill. So these are just some testimonials, some people locally who, well, Avenel's not local, Collingswood is. That woman actually is, Judith is the grandmother who has subscribed in Collingswood to a Pennsauken project. So the way that works is the state allows the developer to capture subscribers from contiguous towns. So the larger the project, you might not have that many people who want to subscribe in a town, so it allows us to go further out. So as the process unfolded for the governor to sign this energy master plan, it was to have people apply to do this work through the Board of Public Utilities. The applications, it was going to be a 3-year project, 3-year pilot program, Solar Landscape got in the first and got 8 projects. In the second year, they got 46 projects. This is a second-year project. The most success happens when the town already knows about it and actually passes a resolution in support of the program, not in support of us, and that they're aware of the site that we're planning to use. So they passed a resolution. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Tyler, Council President. And thank you, Deb, for encouraging Council to do so. That resolution supported that application. The application flew through, and now the project is built. This is your project. This is Delran's project. It's energized now. It will power 120 Delran or Morristown homes, any contiguous, municipality, and you can reserve your spot today, tonight. You could go home, get online, and do this. And your next bill, you would see these credits on your bill. That is at 601 Delran Parkway, I meant to say. 601 Delran Parkway. So so this is the impact of the program statewide so far, just through 2 years. There was 150 approved projects, 35,000 residents, and that over 200,000 metric tons of carbon emissions being removed from the atmosphere. Everybody should be able to participate. That's what the main gist of community solar is. It's not just for the people who can afford to put panels on their roof. So it's a statewide initiative, justice, lower costs, cleaner air, access for all, whether you're in an apartment, a condo, affordable housing, or a mansion. Everybody can participate. 51% has to be for low and moderate income families because the percentage of their monthly income, people who struggle to pay all their bills, is at first rent and second utilities, and then everything else. And so utilities is such a high part, let's save them some money. Guaranteed discount 25%. And you enroll online. There's no long-term contracts. There are no fees. You're not going to pay anything to get into this program. You're not going to sign any long-term contract. You can get out anytime. In Pennsauken, we had an energy aggregation program. We called it energy aggravation because it was an opt-out program. We want you all in, and then you opt out if you don't like it. So they get the aggregate, and they reduce the rate of your electric usage or fees. And then when the rate adjusted, people's bills went up higher than they were before, and they said, wait, let me call the township. Let me call the township. You want to know how many calls we got for that? And so we have to re-educate that that's not what this is. It's not third-party. It's not third-party energy deregulation. Yeah. So that's not my job. So it's not that. But it is something you don't pay any fees. You don't have to sign in. I mean, you don't have to. You can get out anytime. If for some reason you don't like what your bill is looking like, you can get out. But what we're guaranteeing is whatever you're paying, you're going to pay 25% less. Depending on how that fluctuates, it's going to always be less. So we also wanted you to know that we do workforce development and we do a Green Ambassadors program. So if you have children in the school system, my pitch, my green team pitch, is that we can always have the building blocks to help the kids change the world. If you don't have the building blocks, then they can't go and work on something else. So what we're doing is creating an avenue for green ambassadors, for scholarship programs for kids to pursue green energy jobs. The workforce development is to train people to be able to get up on the roof. So there are a lot of people who are retraining, getting into a different field. What's a growth industry? Green energy is a growth industry in this country. And if people can get their corner on it, they can get prevailing wage. If you can get up on a roof, there are jobs for you. And we partner with GAF Roofing to do trainings all throughout the state. And we're training people and helping them get jobs. We're not cornering the market on the jobs either. They can get jobs at any other different companies that are doing solar installations. So the bill is the hard part, right? So what we had in the year one was people got 2 bills. And they got out. I don't want 2 bills. I have a PSE&G bill and I got a bill from you and I don't understand and it doesn't show my credits and I don't like it. It was accurate, but it was confusing. We already know how confusing our PSE&G bill is, or any utility bill. They're actually trying to, the BPU is trying to persuade the energy companies to start, the utility companies to start simplifying their billing. In fact, there's a bill where they're trying to get them to consolidate the billing. So any of your credits for whatever reason would be on the same bill, but they're not doing it. They don't want to be bothered. So we partnered with a company called Arcadia. They have a simple website, a subscriber enrollment program, and a summary billing. So I'll show you how that works. In Delran's program, you would go to this site, and this is going to be on the papers that I'm going to give you to go home, so you don't have to write it down. It's a World Wide Web, arcadia.com, solar landscape 25, meaning 25% off. That's what you would, that would be what you would look at, that first screen. And then the second screen, it would say your utility, it would come up, your name, your email, and then you put in this code, which is GT Delran for Green Team Delran. Because we wouldn't be here without your green team. Okay? Then you have to tell them that I want the power that's coming into my home to come from this program. So you have to sync it to your PSE&G account. You will still be with PSE&G. You're just getting your power from a different source. Does that make sense? Okay? So you have to have your PSE&G number, your username, and your password, and then you hit submit. If you have, I need help with this, they have a very strong customer service team, and they will help you. I forgot your name. Adam was telling me that he didn't have an online account. He might not. If you don't have an online account, then you have to make one, because this billing, in order to get you the 25% off, has to be online. Okay? So then you choose the way you pay, the credit card, checking account, put your information in, and then the qualifying statement. This is called a self-attesting. Okay. Do I qualify for low and moderate income? Because remember, there's a 51% threshold. If somebody is low and moderate income, or they have some assistance from somewhere, they're making sure that we hit that 51% on this project. On any project. Any company on any project throughout the state of New Jersey has to do 51% low and moderate. And then, so you say, I don't know if I qualify, no or yes, looks good to me. I read the terms, and you close out. Then the bill comes. So if it's May of 23, or no, it says payment 22. So say it's 23. The June 22 should be 23. That was my usage, 322 kilowatts. PSE&G, the bill for 100 is 117.36. Do you want to do this, Dan? I mean, this is, and then the the portion that was supplied by the standard grid and the part by the community solar farm. So what that means is that in this particular month, not all of your power was captured by solar. Only the $100 worth of that 117. 17 was PSE&G, 100 was your solar farm. 25% of that is $25, and then your total is 92. Does that make sense? Dan, did I get that right? Yes. Okay. So there are going to be a couple little arrows to show you that I got it right. First, the utility total before the solar credit, and then another click, then the credit, then it's applied, the $25, total amount you pay to Arcadia. Arcadia is now capturing your PSE&G and your solar landscape fees in one place. You pay Arcadia, you're still with PSE&G, you can go online and verify or ask them questions, call them up if you have a problem with your electric, they are still your supplier, okay? So you save your spot, they coordinate your billing for PSE&G and solar credits. The consolidated bill will come to you from Arcadia. You'll save money every month. The project is currently turned on. You're now part of a local, clean, and lower cost energy project. If you currently pay through automatic payments, you shut that off on your PSE&G if it's an automatic draw. And then the next one is if you're still a customer and you can check your bill online, or you can call customer service for any outages or any electrical problems that you're having. And that's our information for you tonight. It seems like a lot. I want to just restate. You sign up, you save money, you clean the local air, you can get out anytime if you don't like it. You can call PSE&G for outages. You can call Solar Landscape for problems. If you have a billing, we have a very strong partnership with Arcadia. If we started to hear from people that were upset with Arcadia, you know, they're going to know about it. We're doing a lot of billing through them for this state right now. And it is working. And we're very proud to be part of the change in the way we're looking at fossil fuel usage versus clean energy. We're happy to be partnering with municipalities, offering green ambassador programs, workforce development, and assistance through whatever means you need. So thank you very much to Deb for having us. And now she's going to field questions for you.
And we have to use the microphone because we are live streaming and it'll be available on the YouTube Township's YouTube channel. So does anyone have a question?
No, let me say this. What does Arcadia and the solar people get out of this?
So,
I mean, what is their take?
That's a great question.
This is Daniel Major.
Hi, Daniel Major, Solar Landscape. So it's a very good question. By enrolling in the program, you're signaling to both Solar Landscape as well as the government that you want more solar farms built. So the way that the program works and why we partner with Arcadia is by you subscribing to the farm, for instance. Let's say you used 10,000 kilowatt hours a year. That's just an arbitrary number. You'd be subscribing to the farm, and we'd be locating that 10,000 kilowatts of production. So for production, what happens is if the farm, let's say the weather is great every day of the year, or what we forecast, and we were able to generate 10,000 kilowatts on your behalf. So the way that the program works is you would get 25% back of whatever the allocation is. In a perfect world, if we generated whatever you used in the previous year, that would equal to 25% of your bill. Now, if it wasn't sunny or if there were other days, it might only be 80, 90% of that 25%. So the other 75% we bill on, I guess, we're able to bill through Arcadia's platform. So if we credit $100 in a given month to your utility bill, you would get $25 of that, and then we would bill $75 back of that. So
I think, do we get paid by the government? So we get credits, right? So
we get $100 worth of credits, which are applied to the utility bill, and then $25 of those credits are kept by the customer, and then $75 are billed by us.
So there's an FNP SREC program, and so there are energy incentives. So the company, I'm sorry. So this is something that is above really what I do, but and Daniel's in community engagement as well. But there are programs where we get credits for transitioning to solar. So we get those credits when we build the solar farms. We get those credits from the federal government. Okay, and it is trying to change. It's trying to make sure people do it, and so it was a program with incentives.
Can you be on the equal payment plan with PSE&G?
Yes.
That won't change.
No, ma'am.
And also, can you give us an idea of what is considered low income?
So we have a last slide. Good. Okay. Oh, there's one last slide, and it's easier to put up there you go. So you see that one? So this is pretty amazing how much you could actually be earning in your household and still be a part of the low and moderate income bracket. The people who suffer the most, Daniel and I would talk about that, is actually the people who don't get any assistance. Make just above what we need to make to qualify for any assistance. So they're paying all their bills, and they're scraping by. So those I would call my moderate income. They're not in the poverty level. They're in the next tier. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay. Anybody?
Hi, Betsy and Daniel. I have a quick question. Does being part of any other program through PSE&G get negated by joining this? Say if you're with I'm familiar, there's a EV kind of credit for EV vehicles and having a special charger set up through PSE&G. Does that get negated by joining this program or anything like that?
I think it's just going to be another piece of the bill, for EV credits. Oh, yeah. I forgot. Stay in the middle. Okay. I don't follow directions very well. Sorry, folks who are on YouTube, but I hope there is somebody. I believe it's broken down that way. In other words, there would be, here's your solar credit, here's your EV credit, here's what you pay. Now, Deb has a Tesla. Do you have EV credits also on your bill? She says no. We can look that up, right, to make sure. So there are energy assistance programs. There's USF. There's LIHEAP. There are a couple others that I am familiar with. They are taken into account to show the low and moderate income bracket, and the discounts still apply.
So I think the only main program to note is net crediting. If you have solar panels on your roof, you wouldn't be eligible for community solar.
You have them already on your roof, because you're already getting the highest discount.
Do you have to enroll in automatic payment?
Hi.
I got it. Okay, thanks. Two questions. First, would you still get the gas portion of your PSE&G bill separately?
I know it's going to be on the same.
Same, it will be on the same one? Okay. Second question is, you said lower moderate or 51%. So what happens when it's capped? Is there a cap part where if there's more than 50% of non-low and moderate that apply, will you then not be able to apply?
They will, thank you for that question. They'll put you in a waiting list, and if there's another project that gets energized that they can pull you into, you know, staying with us, then they would do that. If you said, well, I'm going to shop around, we don't consider ourselves in competition with other community solar developers because we're wanting to change the whole dynamic of distribution of solar energy. So you might choose to go to a different one. But yes, our non-LMI users understand it and want to do it. They haven't had as many scams. They haven't had as many confusing bills. And they are much more willing to trust the program. They look up online, they go to the Board of Public Utilities, they find out about it, they research it, they say, okay, I'm good. Our low and moderate is harder to get. So that's one of the reasons that we work with municipalities to reach out to their affordable housing residents, people who are living in affordable housing or seniors or whatever, because we really do need to get the 51%, but the program can still be energized, but it's wanting. And I think that Daniel might be able to spell that out a little bit better if I didn't.
No, I think you did a good job. We do have some capacity left on this project, but I expect that it'll be filled in the next 30 days. And then credits will be allocated for the life of the project, which could be up for 20 years.
You don't get kicked out if you are not low or moderate and the percentage goes down, or can you get kicked out?
No, well, once you're locked in, so I suggest when you go home today, start your enrollment process, you're locked in. So if you get in before anybody else does in the project, which, like I said, will be closed up in probably about 30 days, we expect to fill it up, you'll just be locked in. So it's not like somebody will come in who's LMI and then kick you out of the project. Once you're energized, you're locked in for as long as you're living at your house. I believe you actually can, if you move, you can also transfer service. So it's your spot.
I had talked to Yvette at Solar Landscape, and she had told me last week that there were 22 people already signed up, and then there were several that had used the green GT Delran. So we may be picking up people that were waiting for our project.
That's great.
Could you kindly explain? I'm not quite sure on the LMI and what if a family doesn't qualify? I'm not quite sure on how that works.
So LMI is the acronym for low and moderate income. Those income levels that we had up on the screen are, people who qualify as low and moderate income families in the state of New Jersey. So that sometimes year to year can change based on the population, the census, all kinds of things that people are reporting income levels. So if more people become low and moderate, fall into that bracket, sometimes those income levels will adjust. But whenever you sign on, you're signing on at the income level that you were attesting to when you signed on, or that you won't be dropped out of the program or anything. If your income level changes and you were to go into a low and moderate income, I think that you're still in the program. It's not, you're not changing your percentage off. Everybody's getting the same percentage off on this project. The 20 years part of it is something I did miss saying. We lease the space at 601 Delran Parkway for 20 years. So we will be on that building for 20 years and maintaining those panels and making sure that that power is being generated on a daily basis.
So I have it's called a power purchase agreement for panels on my house currently with Sonova. So I buy electricity from them, but I'm only probably making 80% electricity, and I have to buy 20% directly from PSE&G. Would I still not qualify for the program if I'm still buying directly from PSE&G?
Unfortunately, because you're in a purchase power agreement and you have panels on your roof, you wouldn't be eligible for community solar.
So I have 3 people in my home, but I'm the only one that pays the bill. And I may not be low income as per that chart. Would I still be eligible to get the 25%?
So as of today, yes, because we still have capacity for non-LMI customers. But as soon as you get home, I would run to the computer and start your process to get on, because it is first come, first serve.
That's what I was going to ask. What is the time period you don't want to think about it? I mean, what is the,
As quickly as possible. That's why we're here.
So go ahead.
I just want to know what does Arcadia, as well as your company, do with our information? Once it's there, does it stay with you? Is it being distributed to other third parties? Am I going to be getting letters in the mail trying to entice me into doing other things?
That's a great question. No, we have a very strict privacy policy. Your information, I mean, it's all PCI and PII compliant, and the only messages you'll get are from either from Arcadia or from us.
It's a very good question and something that we should have in our slides. It's something very important to note. And you know, in this time of sharing databases and everything that's out there, this is really strictly controlled for us.
So you're saying people have to register as soon as possible. How does a person know when you've hit that target number where nobody can register after that? Does the system shut down or something?
Once you register, you'll get notified within about maybe a day or two, whether, let's say 3 days, whether you've been accepted to our project or you're put on a wait list. But right now, I know that we have availability for both LMI and non-LMI, but I do know that we have different marketing campaigns reaching out to different people right now, and we should close out this project in about 30 days.
So if I were to go online and sign up and the project was full, would I get a notice that it was full and I'm on a waiting list? All right.
I pay my PSE&G bill through my bank. I get a hard copy, I get a statement. I don't have a code. You were mentioning something before the presentation. I have to communicate with PSE&G, and then they have to get back to me or whatever. And second question, having to do with payment, you would give them a credit card number through you? Okay.
No, absolutely. So we've partnered with a large technology company, Arcadia. They're a nationwide leader in billing services for the energy sector. They're in, I forget how many states, but it's growing every day. Arcadia acts as a billing agent for Solar Landscape, and rather than us sending you a second bill, Arcadia captures all of your PSE&G information and creates a summary bill. So you'd still be able to access your PSE&G bill, but you're required to enroll digitally into the Arcadia platform. You're required also to put your billing information into Arcadia and to be on auto pay for this program. So what that means is you'll put your banking or your credit card information into the Arcadia platform, and 14 days after your bill is generated, Arcadia will bill you for your PSE&G bill minus any credits that have been applied to it.
Will I still get PSE&G?
So, so the way I would do it if I were you, Eve, is I would go online to PSE&G and start an online account. There will be a password associated with that. So you'll have your regular PSE&G number and a password. And then you don't put it on auto pay with PSE&G. Then you go over to the bill that, the website for Arcadia and put in your account number and that password that you just generated. And then that will make Arcadia be your biller. Mm-hmm.
So they can see our PSE&G bill whenever they wish,
You can,
because they have both our account and our password.
I think that's the way they have to that's how they figure out what to charge you. Yes, yes. And you can too, though.
Yes.
Right? Anybody? Jim?
Can you piggyback a third-party electric supplier with this program?
Great question. Absolutely. So we are not a third-party energy supplier. We operate as a community solar provider. So you're able to still have a third-party energy supplier on your bill supplying your actual energy. The only difference with us is you'll receive the credits from 25% of the portion of the solar energy it's created on your behalf. Other questions?
Well, I just want to say thank you, Mayor. Thank you to City Council, your new councilwoman over here, Nikki. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, and thank you so much for coming. Thank you for your support. Thank you to the Green Team. We're going to distribute some of the giveaways over here and give you a handout. The handout has the information for signing up. It also, I believe, has my email and phone number on here, or Yvette's. Let me see. So we have the direct phone number for Yvette, who does most of the in-house, all of the in-house community engagement. Her email and her phone number are on here. The code that you use is an invite code that qualifies you for this specific project. If you didn't do that, they just kind of roam and find the one. You want it to be here. Why do you want it to be here? You want it to be that project. You want to clean your local air. You want to be doing something good for Delran, okay? So we're going to hand you this out, and it tells you everything on the back about how to do it. Tells you why we do it. Now, this is the fancy thing that I don't use very much, but is becoming the new fad, a QR code. It's even got a QR code for you, so you can scan that with your phone and pull right in there, and it'll take you right to the online sign-in. They have a link for translation for Turkish and Portuguese. And so we're really very happy to be able to provide this information across all sectors. If you have any need for translation, you call Solar Landscape directly. We do have a Turkish speaker, and we can find somebody who's doing the Portuguese for you. Yes. Oh.
Did you have to be at this meeting tonight to get a code, or is the code the same? Can I give that to my neighbors?
Absolutely. This is the wonderful part about word of mouth, right? We have it on the township website. We have it on the Green Team Facebook page. We have it no, we don't have it posted anywhere. It was in the, oh, let me think. I was thinking that we had it in the paper. Did we put it in the article? No. But yes, definitely tell your neighbors. Definitely get more of these if you want to hand them out. It's the same code for this project for all of your neighbors. Thank you for asking that question.
Just an important note also to use the code. Our standard savings are only 21%, so you actually get a little bump or 4% more by using that code or being part of Delran. And I preface that, and I even grabbed the mic to kind of speak to that. So the last 3 years of my life, I've spent doing community solar in New York before I joined the solar landscape team. And the savings there is only 10%. So New Jersey is really progressive in helping build community solar projects.
Will that go up?
No. No. 25 is as high as it goes.
After 20 years.
Well,
Oh, well, we're going to wait around to find that out in 20 years.
yeah.
But we will repair any of those panels anytime, and at 20 years, it's about the life of the panel, so they would probably be re-energized and new panels.
The only thing we can commit to is that you're locked in at that savings rate, which is 25% of whatever solar energy is generated on your behalf.
The other thing that's very exciting about the clean energy is that it's changing every day. And one thing that they're really looking at and working on very hard, and Solar Landscape is watching, is battery storage. So you have 10 days of sunny days and then 20 days of cloudy days. You're not capturing enough solar energy to power all of the projects. So you need to store that so that when you have a lot of sunny days, you have all this backed up in batteries. And it's almost like the size of a railroad car. And they're starting to look at how they can do that all over the place. But the panels are not going to be on rooftops. They're not going to be on a field. They could be on a landfill. They could be on a sewage treatment plant. They call them floating panels. They could be what they call canopies, which are the parking, which I love, but there are people who don't like those at all. I think it's great. It's shady. My car is shady. It's not getting rained on. It's not getting snowed on. I'm not sure why people don't think that's cool, but some people don't. So we do rooftops out of sight. Nobody sees it. And actually, that's probably the best. It's easy to maintain because they just get up on the roof and fix them. So they're not cutting down trees. We're keeping the air cleaner and cleaner and cleaner. That's the idea. Anybody else? Well, thank you very much. Instead of bringing the stuff around to you, I'm going to just have it over here. You can pick what you want. The future's so bright, you have to wear shades, so we have shades. You might want to give them to your kids.